1 2 1 2. Okay, so we will start this review in just over a moment. Okay. Just waiting for some more people to arrive into our chat, and then we will begin. Welcome to all of you who have joined. So thank you for those of you who have come in from the beginning. I hope your week is going well. We're already at Thursday, and I am excited tonight to be able to take a look at Abdullah's channel and his videos. He is just beginning. We're not to worry. We're all here to help each other. So that should be pretty good. Now, let me just get out of this. Okay to that. All right, we hear that. Pop this here. Let's go here. Let's take this off. Now, okay. So, hello to Daniel, Abdul, and all our usual people who are joining us tonight. We have a very exciting channel that we're going to look at. Just starting off. However, I'm quite sure that all the tips that we will be able to give you from those who are regulars in this little channel review, and also whatever ideas come to mind as we look at it, hopefully they will all help. So we'll take a look at one or two of the videos, and especially the one you've sent me, and also we'll take a look at your channel and see can we give you any ideas to help. So welcome to Gary also, who has joined in, and Jack and Andy and everyone else. So let me just pop over to this little screen, make sure that we're all in focus. That looks okay. Let me just check it on this other screen, and then we'll get right down to it. Okay, it looks all right there. Perhaps I can just pop this out a tiny bit more. So as we're making use of the full screen, that looks pretty good. And yes, off we go. So because this one is actually only 1 minute and 18 to start, I think we will just watch it through, take some notes, and then go through it. And Abdul, if you're there at the ready to answer different bits and pieces, different questions that I may ask, just so as we can get an idea, if you would be able to put into the chat what drone you use, what software you use also, perhaps where you're based. That will help us get some basic ideas of what is going on in your drone channel. So, also an invite to everyone who is watching. If you are new to my channel, please do like this video. Of course, if you do like it, subscribe if you haven't already. And please participate and throw out any questions to the group that are here. And then hopefully we can all get better at our own drone videos and our own channel. So let us begin, folks. First of all, welcome to everyone who's here at the moment, and welcome to all those who are going to join us in just a second. So we are very happy today to take a look at Abdullah Al-Malolimi. Those are hard names, boys. Those are hard names. Let's just call our friend Abdul. So Abdul, thank you for getting in touch. I do have a long list of videos that want to be reviewed, but for this week we've chosen Abdul because he's been on the waiting list now for quite some time. So let us begin. Now, please everyone take a look at this and let's see how we do. Okay, there we go. Bonum si brevis est, as the Latins would say. Nice and brief. Okay, so let's just take a look now and see if we can go through this and give Abdul any tips. Callum's Phantom, welcome also. And Delburn, nice to see you again. And Peter, yeah, nice to see you too. Okay, very good. So what we want to do now is just go through this again, Abdul, and we'll take a look at it. Could you tell us what drone you are using? That would just be a great help. Let me just see if I see it up here. Okay. All right, we have a few people droning sitting by the pool. Talk later. As well for some are still on their holidays. Okay. DJI Mavic Pro. Well, there you go. You've got yourself a nice bit of kit. That's always a good start. You're using Final Cut Pro 10, which is my favorite too, so well done there. And this video, Maui. So where are you based? That would be a good point just to know whereabouts in the world you are. And we can see then from there. Okay. Let's take a look. Now, remember, all the comments that are made with the idea of helping. No offense meant at all. Please take it that way. It's all just to help us grow, and my videos are by no means perfect either. And if you are new to looking at the channel, well, check some of them out. They are getting better. Even the ones that I'm going to be uploading over the next few weeks are pretty good too. So you're based in Dubai. Well, good for you. I'm sure it's nice and warm, not like rainy UK and Ireland. All right, let's begin this again. Of course, we've got the music. Now, the music is nice. It's good. Very Casey Neistat, as they would say. But hey, listen, he's not the one who has created the songs. So, but you do see a lot of drone footage getting that type of music behind it. That's why I, in the recent past, have now moved slightly away to that, and I've gone for music which I feel suits the video even more. So here we have a lovely opening scene. It's, at least you're seeing the people. I take it that's you boys down there, and it's pretty good. I think there is a little bit blown out here. Again, you could lower a little bit the whites, and the blacks are pretty good. You've probably done a little bit of color adjustment on this already, as we can see. I'm going to go into too much detail here, but listen, it's going to be upbeat with the music anyway. I like the way here, look, you've got a bit of... Now, if you're here, if this is you, and this is some sort of geyser going up through the rock showing the waves, it would have been super cool if you could have got some sound effects of this, because that would have really got us into it. Remember, audio is really important, and also the sound effects, because the drone cameras themselves don't record sound, and we wouldn't want them to, because all we'd be able to hear are the engines. Getting some of the extra audio which is present in the area that you're filming really brings you into the scene a lot more. So that would really, really be good to be able to add some of that, especially if you do have an extra camera down there, which I think I did see one up close, but that's just something to bear in mind just for future videos. It's a lovely opening scene. You're pulling back, which is, it's quite hard to do that actually when you're going up, and then again we're getting the waves, and then we move over to this scene. So looking at this, it is kind of in the middle. Perhaps you wanted to bring our attention to the clouds, perhaps lowering again the camera a little bit more so that it is within the rule of thirds, perhaps two-thirds of it being the land and the sea and the last third being clouds, because there isn't usually anything overly interesting in the actual sky itself unless you're filming a storm. Nice colours now. They do come up on my screen as if the greens are a little bit blown out, well, a little bit too saturated, but as long as it keeps looking natural. Are you doing the colour correction yourself, I ask, or are you using any LUTs over the top of that? If you want to throw that answer into the question, then yes. Please do tell me, Abdul, what's happening there. Now, I like the way here you have sped it up a little bit, and that's a good tactic. I would generally try to put in a whoosh sound if you can. I think that helps it when you hear that whoosh going out there, and it gives that little bit more. And I generally try to do it over places where you can't really tell too much that that is actually happening. What I mean by that is if there are people walking, all of a sudden you do speed up the drone footage, well then they start to run around like ants, or perhaps the waves become very fast. Now I'm just going to keep commenting and keep throwing out different ideas in the hope that some of you will have heard some of these things before, but if we reiterate it a little bit, well then it should in theory help to remind us when we're out filming. And sometimes the more and more you film, the more drone footage you take, the more you're thinking about what you're going to do afterwards with it. And that's a good idea. But in general, this is a great video. So let's take that for granted, that we do like the fact it's not a beginner video by any means. Different colours here in the water. It's very blue there. And it's almost too blue. Almost, unless that's the way it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I guess the whole point of colour correction is to enhance a bit the colours without it looking as if you've colour corrected it too much. I don't know if you agree with me on that. That saturation is delicate. Again, it also happens to have a lot to do with the calibration of your screen and your camera, but it's just something to bear in mind. This is a nice side shot. I love the way here now you've cut out the sky, you've left us with a bit of the mountains, and we have then what's going on here at the front, which is a nice shot. Again, the speeding up, you're going back and forth there. That was quite a lot there to take in. Let's just see that again. Yeah. Oh, there we go, back again. Abdul, that might have been a little too fast, because now we're seeing more the effect than we are the footage. But you know, not a big pile wrong with it. This is probably one of the nicest shots of the whole clip, A little bit blown out here, you're flying into the sun. That's very hard to do anyway. Are you using any polar filters, any ND filters? Let us know. Always good to know what other droners are using. But this is a lovely sort of shot. You're getting a bit of the land. It's obviously the golden hour, it's getting dark. It's hard to be able to color correct it well. You might have even needed to lower a mask there within Final Cut Pro and then being able to work a bit more with the sky. But that's a lot of work. This is a nice shot though. Again, it was mentioned last week, what you want to do too is that you want to try and avoid, if you can, any jerks in the drone footage. And there was one there. So that's kind of, you know, sometimes just adding a transition to that to change that so that it's not as noticeable helps. See, there was just a little jerk. Well, this is nice here. Again, it would have been nice if we could have perhaps had a little bit of the sound of the waves. Now this, for example, looks like there has been no color correction done to it. Let's see if it comes up as we're going. See, so I don't see very much color correction towards this shot, whereas some of it is very blown out. This doesn't really have any at all. So it is probably the hardest part, at least for me, the hardest part of drone filming and using different cameras would be getting the whole look to be coherent throughout the whole film. So that's just something to bear in mind. See, another point to take into consideration is some of the transitions. I see Gary has said that he doesn't really like the whole back and forth. It is very much in vogue at the moment with a lot of the vloggers, the likes of Casey and some of the people who follow in his footsteps. And in itself, there's nothing wrong with it, but you just don't want to overdo it. And because this is just drone footage, my thing is always to make a story about it, to tell us a little bit more about what's going on, because drone footage by itself is, it's not anything spectacular, because, you know, National Geographic have the best drone filmmakers out there. So if you are going to go down the route of including drone footage in your videos, give us a little bit more of a backstory to it as well. If you're a bit shy about being on camera, perhaps a little bit of audio, perhaps a little bit of sound effects, perhaps a little bit of writing across the screen. If you're using Final Cut Pro, you could use some of the keyframes and perhaps even put it on certain parts of the footage and let it move with the footage. It's a little bit more, but it's good. Jack makes a good comment there in the comments, and we'll just pop over to the comments for a section because I'm aware that I've just been talking. So let's just see. Okay, Pixels in the Sky, welcome. Okay, so yeah, just find a decent ND filter. Yeah, okay, I can't find a decent priced ND filter. Surely you can. Surely you'll be able to do that. Drone Wolf Media and Jack, they're getting to know each other there. Everybody's subscribing to everyone else. Very good. I'm glad that helps you. Let's just move this away because we have actually started this. I'm not a fan of the back and forth. Well, that's what I noticed that Gary had mentioned that before. I don't mind it as long as it's not done too often. I only have a CPL lens, so I need an ND filter. You do. Okay, Drone Wolf Media has got the whole shebang there. He's using the 1632 and 64. 64 must be like a welder's helmet. I don't think I would ever need to use one just that deep, unless you're out in the desert or it's a really sunny day. Perhaps at the very end of the day, if you're flying into the sun, that would be useful. Drone Wolf Media, perhaps you could show us one of your videos that does have the ND64 on it. Be interesting to see what sort of results you get from it. Okay, Abdul's saying, yeah, there is a little bit of oversaturation in some of it. Well, that's good. Reduce the mid-range a little and boost the colors a little bit more. Okay, that's a good tip that Andy is giving us there. Alrighty. And that's about all when it comes to different tips. Okay. I guess that's sunny in the UK. Yeah, probably pixels in the sky. You're right. It never gets that sunny where we're going to need an ND filter 64. But, you know, perhaps the 24 or the 12 and even the 32 at times. Okay, let's go back to our video and keep this going. We're already 20 minutes at this. If I'm waffling on, please do tell me. But listen, that's all part of it, and that's what we're trying to do. So welcome to all those who have tuned in now that we're on to this. Again, we're looking here at Abdul's drone footage. We're trying to give him as many tips as possible to be able to help him along his way in his drone making journey. Please remember that my main idea is to give some tips, to receive feedback from all those in the chat, and also to remind everybody that it is all about the story. And that story can take on a lot of forms. It can be a little bit of text overlay telling us about the area. It can be more audio, your own voice, someone else's voice, your own face, if it's going to be a drone style video with a little bit of vlogging included. And that always helps with a little bit of B-roll. Now, it is only 1 minute and 18, so it doesn't get boring. But if it's a long drone video, you definitely want to include a little bit more for us. Or even tell us the techniques that you're using, if you don't mind sharing it. That's a nice low shot. Again, you're seeing you can pick up the detail in the things that are along the shoreline. And we're coming into the last shot. So really that is about the height of it there. We just go back again to that. So that's really my comments. It is still a nice drone video. And as I said, this opening shot is what's going to capture our attention. And it does, because we're getting this geyser type look that's coming up at the beginning. So that is really good. I'll just show everyone that again. Now that's quite a shot. If you could have matched the music in some way to draw us into that, that would have been pretty cool too. Abdul, this is a good video. Now let's just take a look at your channel. See what we can discover about this fellow. Okay, so let's just see if I go on to this. So I don't see any art other than that. I wonder, is there a reason? Am I on the main bit? I am. There is a little section there that you can put a little image in there, even if it's one of the ones from Canva. Now, as you know, you can design this pretty quick. I could even show you at the end, if you would like, how you could do that. Videos, you're just starting because you've 34 subscribers. That's a nice little shot there. It would be nice to have your own face or something which summarizes what you're trying to do. You've had a couple of good trips there. You can, of course, organize them into playlists. You've created a playlist here about Final Cut Pro tutorials. You can make those private if you don't really want people to see that you're actually still learning. And then you can keep the ones yourself for, just thought I heard something there, but no. Channels. Okay, discussion. Nothing there. About, okay, joined 2012. You need to put a little bio in here, my friend. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Because all this helps to enhance. If you want people to be able to look at your channel and to make that connection with you, perhaps there should be some sort of artwork. Let us know that you've made a bit of an effort, because it's quite hard to get subscribers. But if we feel that you're in this for the long haul, well then I definitely give importance to people who have spent a few minutes, and all you got to do is YouTube some tips on how to make your channel look the part. So those would be a few tips that I would do if I were you. If we just go back to your video again, let's take a look. Now, I don't know if you're aware, you have this within the category of comedy. Now, we're not supposed to laugh at it. Tut, tut, tut. But if you have it in the comedy section and somebody's searching, they're just going to be laughing the whole way through, then that wouldn't necessarily be good. So make sure that you put it into the right category, which will be, I mean, I don't know, I'll have to go and check what mine are in. I think it's just that there's a general category for that sort of thing. Let me see. I'll just look at this last one here of mine. And again, give a bit of an explanation as to what it's about. Where was this? You can use, remember the first two lines of the description are really, really important. People and blogs, mine are under. I think that's the general one where a lot of the footage ends up. So that's what you want to do. And if you see here, look, this is just a little bit of artwork, and you can download this in canva.com and do it really, really quick. You find out the dimensions, you pop it on. I probably have a video where I explain how to do that. So Abdul, I would recommend you do something like that so that your channel looks a little bit fuller. I mean, I have videos that are repeated in different sections. So if you're doing one, say, on beaches, well, then you could have a whole playlist which is just called beaches, and then you put, you know, your Mavic Pro. I go to the beaches in my area, and anyone who's interested in seeing that type of footage is going to be able to see that. Those are just some of the tips that I would give you on your channel, just to enhance it just a tiny bit more. There are loads and loads of tips. You definitely want to have some keywords, some sort of explanation in there about this place, because you'll get more than 54 views if you have the basics done well. That's the way I would look at it. There are lots of videos out there, lots of people who are big YouTube teachers that will help you enhance your channel. Watch a few of those, and it'll definitely help you to move up in the subscriber range. So I am going to just pop over again to the chat to see has there been anything interesting happening during the last 5 minutes while I was there. Abdul, if there's anything you would like to add to what has been said, please do. I hope that has been a good enough review of what your video was like to me and how I would imagine others see it. And I am wishing you all the best, and get more of those videos up onto that channel so that we can see all the talent that you have. And yes, as I think it was Jack suggested earlier, even using your smartphone, which if you have a Mavic Pro, I'm quite sure you've got a decent enough smartphone, and you can record some of the audio that way and just pull it into Final Cut Pro. I think what I might do is I might actually go over to Final Cut for a second and give you some of the basic color correction tips that I would suggest. If anyone would like to see that, given as we have a little bit of time, because your video was so short, it didn't take us that long to fix it, I could just pop over to Final Cut, show you the video that I'm just finishing at the moment, and then show you some of the basic color correction that you can use, even if you're not using the likes of Color Finale, even just some of the basic work. Abdul, you're in charge tonight because it's your video and it's your slot. So if you'd like that, please do tell me in the comment section. Me in the chat box. Abdul, that would be great. I take it you mean going on to Final Cut and taking a look at some of the basic color correction that we all might be able to do. Yeah? Agreed? Let's do that. Let me see, as long as that doesn't take too long, I will have to plug in something here. Is it coming back? Is it coming back? I think we're back. Are we still on the same stream? Unplug. I think I'm back though. Yeah? Are we still all there? Testing. Oh, I hope I didn't lose you, folks. Sorry about that. I think I'm back because I did still have my Wi-Fi on. So I'm hoping that technology worked in our favour. Let me see. Is everyone, just a few of you give me an old thumbs up there and let me know that you're still there. I do still, according to my stats, have about 18 to 20 people watching, so that's good. Sorry about that. Now, I have a very long list of people who want their drone videos reviewed. If you would like your drone footage reviewed, just drop it into any one of my videos, the link to the video in question, and we'll pop it onto the list. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people waiting, but we will get to it, and if we need to do more than one a week, we will do so. Okay, let me pop up here again. Let's look at the drone videos review, and let's pop the Final Cut on. Let's see how long it takes to load. Oh, it's coming. It's looking good. All right. Okay. And bada bing, bada boom. We're here already. All right. So this is the video that I'm finishing at the moment. It lasts about 6:44. I do have a look grade in there. Let me take it off for a second to see, does it make any difference? Yeah, the only thing I had in it is a little bit of a letterbox effect. So let me see. I'm going to show you the opening scene, and then I'll show you how I have done. Oh, I've cut it off. Did I cut you off, folks? Are you still there? Is the video still streaming? Let me see. Well, it says it is. That was a big mistake, wasn't it? Abdul, I'm sorry about that. I should have really have bear that in mind. Okay. I think everyone's back anyway. All right, so let's take a look at this. So this is the, I'll show you the opening scene first, and then you can tell me your thoughts on it. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through this scene and my thoughts behind it, and to see if it helps any of you. Just the thoughts as to why I did what I did. We happy enough with that? Okay, so first thing you want to do, the first thing that I'm thinking of doing, now remember, I'm not an expert drone pilot by any means, but I do feel that I have picked up a few tips along the way. So one of the first things that I'm trying to do here is I want to, basically what I want to do is I want to catch your attention. I want to catch it by putting out one of my favorite shots from this video. And that's where it is. And I do have the sound of the sea coming into it. It's actually part of the audio song. And the music then comes in as the reveal happens. So the reveal in this case is the cliff face. And then I'm using the clip because this is quite a long shot and it could last 20 or 30 seconds. And because I didn't want to speed it up because of the fact that we've got some waves going on, then I thought I would do a cut over to another nice scene, which is a waterfall, which is over at the other side of the bay. Now I'm using the clapping to sort of move along here. So I'm using the clapping sound to just speed it up a little bit. You used it as in a quicker sound, so that's what I've done here. Again, the rule of thirds going on, where we want to have not too much sky and a little bit more, lots of points of interest going on. Hi everyone. And then I cut into what the video is all about. So I'm going to tell you what's going on, why I'm doing it, and what the whole idea behind it is. So that's that. So now if we go and take a look at the colors, we can now, within Final Cut Pro, of course, we can just go here and show the color board. Okay, so the first thing you want to look at is the exposure. All right, so I hope you can see that. I'm going to have to move this over slightly so that you can see that. Let's lower this down. Let's bring this up. I wonder, can I make this any bigger for you to see? All right, everyone see that all right? Yes, you can. And this is what we are actually color correcting in this case. So I'll move it along to a bit where I'm seeing everything, the sky and all, move it across here, whoops, and this is kind of a little bit ad hoc, move it there. So what I did was immediately I went to my exposure and I adjusted my whites and my blacks. Okay, now a way to help me do that is if you put Command 7 here and then you just take up the histogram, you want to make sure that it's at 0 and it's at 100. So this probably would have originally have been somewhere along here. So I just brightened it up slightly. It could have went to about there. And then the blacks too, that would be too dark and it's blown way out, so you want to keep it at about 0. That's what I did there. And then the mid-tones, it's well blown out there. I just lowered them slightly to bring back the details in the sea. So those are all good examples. So I hope that that's just the basics, and that's kind of what I do with all the little clips. And then as it's moving through, you can see there. Now I will add a letterbox effect to that just to give it a little bit more of a cinematic look just at the end, but that's kind of what I talk about when I'm saying in here now the saturation. I just brought it up a tad. You don't want it too much or it looks too blown out, but universally you can do it a little, or even just do it a little bit to the mid-tones, which I think is what had been spoken about there by several others. Anyway, that's sort of the way I would be working it, and I look forward to being able to show you this footage in a week or two whenever it's due to be released. So I think we're going to leave it like that for today. I'm going to go over to my chat to see how everyone is doing. Oh, that's the wrong one. And yes, we're saying that, okay, Drone Wolf Media, throw in a link into yours at the end. Great music, very creative. Those people have to start to go. And thanks, Patrick. Bye, Chris. Okay, and there's people there that are chatting away among themselves. Folks, Abdul, I hope that helps seeing a little bit more of what sort of process that I'm following. Thank you for saying it. Yes, thank you for this. Final Cut, is Final Cut free? No, it's not. It's a one-off fee. I don't remember what it was because I bought it about a year ago, but once you buy it once, that's the end. That's you sorted. For all of you who have tuned in after this, please do make sure that you like and subscribe to both Abdul's channel and to my own. And I look forward to going through some of your other drone footage a little bit down the line. $300, that's what it is. Okay, well, it is sort of the next step up if you want to move into color grading a little bit more. Folks, it has been a pleasure. We're going to leave it at that because, Abdul, your video that you sent us was only 2 minutes long. We gave you all the tips and tricks that we could do within that half hour, and then I went in and gave you some basic ideas on the color correction so that it's not over-saturated. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for all 20 who joined. And I will catch you again. I will leave this chat on for a few moments so that you can all say goodbye to each other. And hopefully next week we will look at some more drone footage. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined in, and I'll catch you again. Bye-bye.